started the tutorial series, I've been getting a question asking how can you do these calligraphy tutorials using another pen. Now in my tutorials I use a calligraphy pen and a Crayola marker. Also you can use a brush pen for the same tutorial series. But can you do calligraphy with some other marker or a regular pen? The answer is yes, but it is a different technique. So I would like to tell you the technique today so you can follow up my alphabet series using any pen you have at home. So before we begin, if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications to receive notifications when I upload a new video. Hello everyone, I'm Safia from Magic Light Artista. Welcome to my channel. So today we're going to look at Faux Calligraphy. Faux Calligraphy? What is this Faux Calligraphy? The meaning of Faux Calligraphy is basically fake calligraphy. The calligraphy you do without using a calligraphy pen. So what can we use if we are not using a calligraphy pen or a Crayola marker? Anything. You can use any pen, anything you write with. As an example, a fine liner. This is a very affordable fine liner you can find in any store. Even a regular ballpoint pen or even any marker you can find out there. So I'm going to demonstrate how to do the calligraphy writing with these three pens today. So let's see how we can do calligraphy using the regular pens which you have at home. So first, let's look at how the brush pen works. In calligraphy, the first of all thing the brush pen does is it gives you difference between upstroke and downstroke. So let's write a letter to see what it does. I'm writing simple I. So now you see how the brush pen gives you the effect of calligraphy with thin and thick strokes. In upstrokes, the brush pen gives you thin strokes, and in downstrokes, it gives you thicker strokes. So I'll draw it again so you can clearly see. Upstroke thin, downstrokes are thick. So with the pressure you apply to the nib, you can do the variation in a brush pen. But what happens with a regular pen or a marker? Let's see. So if I do an upstroke with very light pressure with a fine liner, I'll get thin lines. Okay, done. What about the thick lines? I do apply more pressure to my downstroke, but it did not give me that thicker line I want for calligraphy. So let's try out the marker. This is a big permanent marker with a thin tip. Same thing. I don't get that thick stroke in the downstroke with that. Let's try out a ballpoint pen. Same thing. I still got the upstroke thin, but not the downstroke the way I want it. So what can we do to make this look like calligraphy? Let's see. Before that, I would like to show you the Crayola marker as well, because I've been doing the tutorials with the Crayola marker. So in that you get that difference. So Crayola marker is one exception for a calligraphy pen. So let's move on to our faux calligraphy or the fake calligraphy we're gonna do with normal pen. Let's begin with the basic strokes. I'll draw the basic stroke with the brush pen so we can remember them again. So these are the basic strokes of calligraphy, and if you're not familiar with it, don't forget to go to the link above and learn all the basic strokes there. So we'll see how we can do this with a normal pen. I'm using my big thin line marker. First, let's draw the basic strokes with the marker. Now let's see how we can turn this into this. So in this, the difference is you have a thicker line as the downstroke. How can we make this thicker? You just simply draw a parallel line to the line you have already drawn and then fill in the gap in between. So you see we have already gotten the downstroke just like the brush pen. Now the underturn, I'm going to figure out what is the downstroke. So here this will be the downstroke. So I draw a parallel line next to it and make it thicker. So when you're drawing the parallel line, you can decide if you want to do the line inside or outside. But I usually do it inside, but depending on where it is, I change it accordingly. Now in the overturn, I'm gonna draw the parallel lines on either side, because in this, if I draw it outside, it's gonna make my shape a bit wider. If I draw it inside, it's going to make the shape a bit more thinner. So to balance it off, I am drawing it on either side. Now the compound curve also, I did it in the same way. Oval, I'm drawing the line inside. Always remember the consistency of the thick line should be similar. There can be only two thicknesses in calligraphy: the upstroke in thin line and the downstroke in thicker. In the descending loop, I'm doing it on either side, and the ascending loop, I'm doing it outside, because you can see if I do it inside, it's gonna make the loop very small. So you see how we have achieved the basic strokes of calligraphy with a simple marker. You don't need a brush pen or a calligraphy pen or even a Crayola marker for this. You have achieved the same effect with a normal pen. So I did it with a marker. Now I will quickly do it with a ballpoint pen. So we have done calligraphy strokes without a calligraphy pen. We have used a ballpoint pen and a marker to get the same effect as a brush pen. Now let's apply these strokes into a word. So we're gonna write an actual word with letters. To demonstrate this, I'll be using the fine liner as I used the ballpoint pen and the marker already to show you. So the first step would be drawing guidelines. For the guidelines, you draw a baseline, a waistline, and an ascending line. If you want, you can draw a descending line as well. So if you don't know these terms, baseline, waistline, don't worry. Click on the link above and that'll take you to the basic strokes video where all the terms are explained. As the second step, we're gonna write down the word with a pencil. So we're writing the word magic. So I'm gonna write down the word with a pencil using our basic strokes, and then I'm gonna ink it using a fine liner. Alright, now the next step would be to figure out which of the strokes are going to be downstrokes. Now I see this is a downstroke, so I'm going to draw a thick stroke or a parallel line with the pencil. So I'm trying to figure out the downstrokes. So if you have any doubts regarding which is an upstroke and which is a downstroke, go to the link above and you can see my video tutorial of forming letters with basic strokes. So I'm drawing parallel lines with a pencil. Now using my fine liner, I'm going to ink the parallel lines and fill out the gap. There's one advantage in using Faux Calligraphy. When you're using Faux Calligraphy, you can always make fancy letters, because in calligraphy the thick lines already will be filled up with the ink. But in Faux Calligraphy, you can fill them up not only with solid color, with any pattern of your choice. Let's see an example. Oops. Oops, sorry. So let's see. I have already filled out the gaps with lines, and you can even use dots or zigzag or waves, anything you like. You can fill out the gaps using any pattern of your choice. So there's another big advantage of using Faux Calligraphy. So if you take the brush pen has particular surfaces which you have to write on. You can't write on rough surfaces, or you can't do big lettering. So if you want to do a calligraphy on something like this, you can't do it with a brush pen. It won't hold on the surface first, and also the brush pen won't act as you want. So for that, you need a permanent marker or a marker which is suitable for the surface. In that case, you can use Faux Calligraphy to do calligraphy on any surface you want. It can be walls, it can be glass, it can be a wood, anything. You can use Faux Calligraphy to draw on any surface you want with whatever tool you want to use. So after you're done with the writing, you just erase off the guidelines, so you have a clean surface with a simple calligraphy word. So that is Faux Calligraphy, or fake calligraphy you can call it. That is something you can do with any pen you have at home. You can even use a pencil if you like. So now no more excuses. You can do calligraphy with whatever you have at home, and go to my channel and learn all the letters I have there, and I'll be uploading more letters in future, and I will be doing an alphabet video for Faux Calligraphy as well. So stay tuned so you won't miss any of my fancy calligraphy videos. So if you like this video and would like to see more videos like this, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on your bell notifications. Bye bye.